Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Is Bitcoin used by criminals? The answer is absolutely yes. Actually, in the very beginning, Bitcoin gained a lot of its popularity because it was used on the dark web, more specifically in the marketplace, the Silk Road. It was used to buy and sell all sorts of illegal services and products, and it didn't stop there. Bitcoin continued to be used by many criminals. Actually, Edward Snowden used Bitcoin to pay for the servers that he used in the NSA leak. And many would argue that although this is technically illegal, what he did was heroic. And I'm one of those people. I think although he did something which technically is illegal, I don't see him as a criminal, I see him as a hero. But the bottom line here is that Bitcoin has been used for illegal purposes and for crime, and it's not going to stop. Bitcoin will continue to be used for criminal activity for many years to come. So is Bitcoin used by criminals? Yes. But is Bitcoin a criminal currency? And the answer to that is no, because there is no such thing as a criminal currency. This is a made-up term. It doesn't even make any logical sense, and I'll explain to you why. When it comes to currency, there are two types. There's good currency and bad currency, or said in another way, there is currency that people are willing to accept and currency that people are not willing to accept. If you listening, I'm assuming you're a good person. If you're doing business or you sell something, you want to be paid in a fiat dollar, maybe preferably something such as the US dollar or the euro. You want something strong, something that has value. So what makes you think that a criminal wants anything different? Criminals want the same money that good people use. If it's used by good people, then it's used by criminals. There is no such thing as a special currency for a criminal, such as Chuck E. Cheese tokens or Monopoly money or a specific currency. They use the same currency that good people use. And the American dollar happens to be used for a lot of criminal activity. Does this mean that the US dollar is a criminal currency? Absolutely not. It just happens to be one of the strongest currencies in the world that everyone uses, good people and bad people, and this is why criminals prefer to use it. And it's important to remember that there needs to be liquidity in the market. A criminal is not going to accept a currency only used by criminals, because what are they going to do with that currency after it's received? If they sell a product or sell a service and they receive a criminal currency only used by criminals, they can't now go out into the world and use that currency. So you might ask, why don't they exchange it for the good currency? And this is also a problem, because now you have to find someone who's willing to make that trade with you. This is why criminals will always use the strong currencies of the world. And when it comes to cryptocurrency, there are over 7,000 cryptocurrencies, and people only really use a few for payments, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Monero. No one is using Tron for payments. No one is using EOS. No one is using Tezos. I'm not saying these projects are bad or they don't have a future. I'm simply stating the facts. No one is using these currencies for any sort of payments, whether good or bad. So you would think when it comes to the dark web that Monero, the ultimate privacy coin, is the most used currency, but it's actually not. It's the second most used currency, even on the dark web, after Bitcoin. And this comes back to that issue of liquidity. Bitcoin is the one that everyone uses, good people and bad people. When you receive Bitcoin for your business, whether good or bad, you can now go out into the world and use it. And actually, you can do this with Monero as well. Monero being in second place on the dark web after Bitcoin shows that Monero still has a lot of value, because out of these 7,000 cryptocurrencies, people are still using Monero. But it goes to show you that the first thing people look at, good or bad, when it comes to doing business or using a currency, is the value of the currency and the liquidity. And then after, they look at the secondary features. So in this case, you would think Monero would be used the most on the dark web because it's private. But the truth is, Bitcoin at the moment, at least up until 2020, is the most used cryptocurrency on the dark web, but also the most used cryptocurrency in general by good people as well. So next time someone asks you, is Bitcoin used by criminals? You'll tell them exactly what you learned in this video. And every time they do ask you that question, use it as a reminder that Bitcoin is valuable and it's here to stay. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.